Hello students, in today's session we will talk about operators in Python programming. So today's topic is operators in Python programming. So we have total 6 basic operators. In Python programming. So first one is arithmetic operator. Second is relational operator. Third is logical operator. Fourth is assignment operator. Fifth one is bitwise operator. And last one is ternary operator. So we have total 6 basic operators in Python programming. So first one is assignment operator, second is relational operator, third is logical operator, fourth is assignment operator, fifth is bitwise operator, and last one is ternary operator. Okay, so these are the 6 basic operators that is available in Python programming, and now we cover every operator one by one. So first we concentrate on arithmetic operator. Okay, so arithmetic operator. So first we cover arithmetic, then relational, then logical, and then assignment, then bitwise, and last ternary operator. Okay, so if we talk about the arithmetic operator, so if we want to perform an arithmetic operation on an operand, so we have to use arithmetic operator. So we have basically, if we talk about the arithmetic operator, so we have plus, that is addition, second subtraction, third one is multiplication, then division, then floor division, and last one is modulus operator, and one more that is power operator. So that is actually a power operator. Okay, so plus, minus, multiplication, division, floor division, modulus, and power operator. Okay, so we cover one by one. So we start from, if you want to perform an arithmetic operation on any of the numbers like 10 plus 20, or like print, you want to perform arithmetic operation on any string like Rahul plus Gupta. So, or you perform any type of arithmetic operation. Okay, so for that you have to use arithmetic operator like plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus, floor division, and power operator. So that is 30 and Rahul Gupta. Okay, next if you perform like print, now if you if we want to find 34 to the power 2, now guess what is the output? So here output is 1156, that is square of 34. Okay, so if you want to find the square, so you have to use double asterisk, means that like next if we if you want to find cube of 3, so if you write cube of 3, okay, cube of 3, so 3 to the power 3. Okay, so here the output is 3 3s are 9 and 9 3s are 27. So guess, so here as the output is 27. If so, if you want to perform any of the arithmetic operations, so you have to use plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus, floor division, and a power operator. Okay, so I think there is one more special operator, that is floor division. So what is actually the difference between the floor division and normal division operator? So here if I take 10 divided by 2, okay, so here the output is 5.0, and if we write the same thing like print, and here I write like 10 floor division 2, now guess what is the output here? So again here the output is 5. Okay, So that is float division operator. Now the question is, sir, what happen if we write like this, like print 3 divided 3 float division 2. Now guess what is output? Output is like 1.5 or 1. Guess. So first we pause the video and think what is the output. Okay, so if you run the program, here the output is 1. So that is float division operator. So I think you are already familiar with the plus, minus, multiplication, division, but there is some special operator like float division operator. So that is, I think, new for you. So that's why I introduce you. So that is float division operator. Okay. Next is modulus operator, means that like if you want to find the remainder part, means that if I divide 13 by 2, so if we divide 13 by 2, so output is actually actually we get remainder as a 1. So modulus always give the remainder part. Okay, always concentrate on the remainder part. So here you get 1 as an output. See, here you get 1 as an output. So these are the basic arithmetic operator like plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus, and float division operator and power operators. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have total 7 arithmetic operator. Okay, and next is, sir, what happen if we write like this, like Rahul plus Gupta is possible, but what happen if we write like print Rahul into 3? So that is also arithmetic operation. Here you want to perform arithmetic operation on 2 operands in which one is a string type and another is of integer type, but that is possible because actually star operator like that asterisk operator is overload in the back end. Okay, so it's properly work, and here the Rahul print 3 times. Okay, and if you write the same thing in a vice versa manner, like if you write like this, like print, and if I write like this, like Rahul, or we write like this, like 3 into Rahul, 3, or 3 asterisk Rahul. So again the same output, here the Rahul will print 3 times. But again the question arises, sir, what happen if we use other operator? So actually that operator is not overloaded in the backend, so definitely we will get an error. Means that if I replace the star, that asterisk, with a division operator, so what is the output here? Definitely you will get an error because this operator is not overload in the backend, so you will get a type error. Okay, so basically if you want to perform arithmetic operation on 2 integers, so that is possible. Okay, on 2 string it is also possible, but only the plus and multiplication operator. Okay, now the again question arises, sir, what happen if we write like this, like if we want to add 2 complex number, like print, and here I want to perform 2 complex number, addition to complex number, that is possible or not? Like 10 plus 2j plus 10 plus 2j, 10 plus 2j, so that is possible or not? Okay, so we check it. So here the output is 10 plus 2j. Okay, so here I use star sign, star 10 plus 2j. So here the output is 96 plus 40j, and if I use plus sign here and again we perform the same operation, arithmetic operation, so here the output is 20 plus 4j. So it is applicable. It is applicable on integer type, float type, complex, string also. And if you want to use one string and another is integer, so only star operator is overload at the backend. Other operators not allowed in case of if one operator is of string type and another is of integer type. Okay. Again, sir, what happen if we like perform arithmetic operation on, like, okay, so first guess what is output if I write 23 plus 2? So in this case, again we perform the arithmetic operation. One is of integer type and another is of boolean type. Now guess what is the output? So first we pause the video and think what is the output. But it perfectly works because we know that if we typecast true, because 2 is a boolean, if we typecast 2 to integer, so it becomes 1. So here the output is 23 plus 1. So here the output is 24. See the output. Here the output is 24. Okay, so it's perfectly well. Even if you are performing another operation like 23 into 1, because if you typecast 2 into integer, so it becomes 1. So 23 into 1, so again the output is 23. So if you want to perform any of the arithmetic operation on integer type, operator is of integer type, another is of boolean type, so that is possible. Even if you are using a division operator here, so it's also perfectly work. That is 23 divided by 1, that is actually 23.0. It's perfectly work. Okay, so if you want to perform any of the arithmetic operation on integer, float, complex, boolean, so it's possible. But there are some exceptional cases, like if you use like one operator is of string type, another is of integer type, so actually that operator is overloaded for that case. Means that if you use one operand is of string type and another is of integer type, so how it is work, because that operator is actually overloaded at the back end, that's why you get output. But on that place, if you use other operators, so definitely you will get error. Okay, but some, I think some students are from Java background. Okay, so they think that, but sir, it's perfectly work, it's perfectly work if we take one integer and another is of the string type, so it's perfectly work in Java. Okay, so again we check in Java. Okay. So in this case, if I write like this, like system dot out dot println, and if we write like this, like 10 plus Rahul, 10 plus Rahul, so it's perfectly work, because actually plus operator is overloaded in Java. For one is of integer type, another is string type, and if you're using a plus operator, so it's perfectly work. Actually, it's converted into string operator, so here the output is 10 rounds. Okay, so first I run the program and we check the same output is came or not. So first we compile the program. Code is successfully compiled, and if I run it now, so here the output is 10 rounds. But if you write the same thing in a Python programming, okay, but if you write the same thing in a Python programming, like print 10 plus round. So first we pause the video and think what is the output here. But actually plus operator is not overloaded in a packet for one of a string type. One operator is of a string type and another is of integer type. Okay, so for such case, plus operator is not overloaded in the packet, so you will get an error in a Python programming. Okay, but same case is the work in Java programming, but for the same case you will get an error in a Python programming. Okay, so that is a type error. Okay, that is an important point to be noted. Okay, so in this case you will get a type error. Okay, and again like now again there's some more cases, like if you write like print, so what happen if we like add 0b11 0b 0b1101 plus 0 o 1 2 3. Yes, you will get output here or not. First pause the video and think. Okay, so here we use two operands, both are numbers, but one in binary form and another is octal form, but actually they both are numbers, so it's perfectly work and you will get output in a decimal form. So here the output is 96. Okay, so that is arithmetic operator. Okay, so here we cover like plus, minus, multiplication, division, flow division, modulus, and star operator. The point to be noted, we have 7 basic arithmetic operators in Python programming. We have total 7 basic operators like plus, minus, multiplication, division, flow division, modulus, and power operator. So in case of power, we use a double star. Okay. Okay. So next is relational operator. Okay. So if you want to take a screenshot, please take it. Okay. Done. So next is a relational operator. So next is relational operator. So what is a relational operator? Means that if you want to check a relation between two objects, so for that you have to use a relational operator. Relational. So relational word is actually came from a relation word, and if you want to check a relation between two objects, so for that you have to use a relational operator. So we have a many relational operator like greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to, and double equal to. So these are the basic relational operators we have, like greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to, and double equal to. Means that if you want to check a relation between two objects, so for that you have to use a relational operator. So first we check the relation. Like if we check like 10 is greater than 20, so guess what is the output? Definitely we get false as an output. An important point: relational operator always give output in a boolean format. Okay, so that is an important point. So I mention here, you always get output get output in boolean form. So that is important point to be noted. Okay, so boolean form. Okay, so that is important point. So in relational operator you always get output in a boolean format. Okay, so that is important point. So means that if we write like 10 is greater than 20, definitely output is false. Definitely here the output is false. Okay, next if you check like print 10 is not equal to 10, so definitely that is also false. That is actually false, because 10 equal to 10. Okay, and here you write 10 not equal to 10, so definitely output is false. If you check like print 10 equal 20, again, so that is equals, that is 10 equal 20, so that is again false. Okay, so means that if you want to check a relation between two operands, or if you want to check a relation between the two objects, so for that you have to use a relational operator. Even you apply the relational operator in a string also. Like if you write like you want to check. Okay, so first we check, let's take a character. Okay, so if I write like capital A is greater than small a, so if you think, sir, actually it's a character type, no, it's both operands are of string type. Okay, because in Python we have only string as a data type. In Python we not have character data type. Okay, so actually if you write a in a single quote, so actually it's considered as a string type. Okay, so here you check capital A is greater than small a, so guess what is the output? Actually it's check its ASCII number, and a capital ASCII number is, I think it's 65, and a small a is 97. Okay, so here again the output is false. Okay, so it's perfectly work. Even if you want to write like this, like if I write like Rahul 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 is greater than Ravi, so that is a very interesting part, because if you write the same thing in Java, so definitely we get a error, that is a bad operand type. Okay, so if you write the same thing in Java, okay, like Rahul is greater than Ravi. Rahul is greater than Ravi. If you write the same thing now in Python, so it's work, but in Java you will get an error, because it's not possible to compare to object. Okay, so it's here you get a error, that is a bad operator type. So first we run that program. So the output is a bad operand type for the binary operator, so it's not work in Java. But if you write the same thing in Python, so it's perfectly work. Now the question is, sir, how it check? So first it compare the first letter. Okay, so both are same, that is R and R. That move to the second letter, both are same, that is A. Then it move to the third letter, that is H and V. Okay, and it compares ASCII number. Okay, so for what is ASCII number of H, what is ASCII number of V, it compare it, and then according to it you get the output. So again, here the output is false. So I think the name of the function is ORD. And if I write in single quote H, I want to check the ASCII number. So actually it's 104, and print. Now to know the ASCII number of V, small v, so actually it's 118, and that is the reason we will get false as an output. So if you want the ASCII number of any alphabet, so you have ORD method. ORD is a predefined function in a Python programming. So with the help of ORD, you can easily get the ASCII number of any of the character. Okay, so in this case, first if you want to compare two strings, so it's compare like, okay, R and R both are same, then it moves to the second letter, then again A and A, Rahul second letter is A and Ravi second letter is A, both are same. Then move to the third letter. Then third letter is L, H and V, and H have ASCII number 104 and we have ASCII number 118. So in this case, you will get false as an output. So that is possible in Python programming. But if you write the same thing in Java, you will get a compile time error. That is a bad operator type. So that is very important point to be noted. If you want to compare to string, if you want to compare to string, so that is possible. That is possible in Python programming. If you want to use a greater than sign, so that is possible in Python programming, but if you write the same thing in Java, you will get an error. Okay. Okay. Next important point, if you write like this, like print 10 is greater than 20, greater than 30, greater than 40. So that is chaining of operator. So chaining of operator concept is applicable in Python programming, but it is not applicable in Java. If you write the same thing in Java, you will get an error. Okay. So again, check. Because chaining of operator concept is not applicable in Java. So if you write like 10 is greater than 20, greater than 30, greater than 40, so you will get error here. Okay. So because chaining of operator concept is not applicable in Java. So okay, again the bad operand type for the binary operator. Actually here the problem is 10 is greater than 20, so it will return you false as an output, and then it compare false with integer value, and that is the reason you will get an error. That is bad operand type, and here it's clearly mentioned the first type is boolean, second is integer, and that is actually the problem in problem with Java. But in case of Python, how it's work? Actually, first it compared 10 with 20, then 20 with 30, and then 30 with 40. If any of the statement will give you will return you false, so final output is false. Okay. So first it compared 10 is greater than 20, so that is actually false, and that is the reason output is false. Okay, again then if you think that like sir, what happened if you write like this, like 10 is okay, so 10 is greater than 5, it's perfectly work. Then it's greater than 2, it's perfectly work, and it's greater than 4. Now guess what is the output? So again the output is false. Again the output is false. But how to work actually? See, first see the check the output. Output is false. But how it works? Sir? Actually 10 is greater than 5, it returned you true. Then 5 is greater than 2, again it returned you true. Then 2 is greater than 4, it returned you false. And as per the instruction, if you are using a chaining operator, so if any of the statement will give return you false, so final output is false. Okay, so chaining of operator concept is applicable in Python programming, but it is actually not implemented in Java. So if you write the same thing in Java, if you are using a chaining of operator concept in Java, so you will get a bad operator type as a compile time error. Okay, so that is chaining of operator concept. So what is the actual use of the relational operator? Means if you want to check a relation between the two objects, so with the help of relational operator, it is applicable. So we have greater than relational operator, greater than, small than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to, and double equal to. Okay, so we have total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have total 6 basic relational operator that is present in Python programming. Okay, so these are the basic relational operators. Okay, now we move to the third operator, that is logical operator. But before proceed to the next topic, I have some question for you, because before relational operator we already covered arithmetic operator. So my question is, what happens if we write like this, like print, and here I take one variable with the name num, and here we assign 10 to num. Okay, and what happens if we write like this, like plus num, and again here we write print minus num. Now guess what is the output? So if you are already covered C programming or C++ or Java, so most of the students think that it is a increment decrement operator, but your kind of information, increment decrement operator is not applicable in Python programming. Okay, so that is very important point. Increment decrement operator is not applicable in Python programming. So it will, if you write like this, like plus num, so it will consider as a normal mathematical equation, and plus is plus. So here the output is again 10. Here the output again minus minus again plus, so here you again get output 10. And if you write like this, like print plus minus num, so here you get output as minus 10. But that is not an increment decrement operator. If you think that here we get 11 as output, or it will perform increment decrement operation, so your kind for information, increment decrement operator is not applicable in Python programming. If you already cover C programming or C++ Java, so uh, in that programming languages, increment decrement operator is applicable. But in Python, increment decrement operator is not applicable. Okay, so it will consider as a normal mathematical equation, and in this case you will get like if you write plus plus, so it will give you plus, minus minus is again plus, so for second output is 10, and if you write plus minus, so here the output is minus 10. Okay, so if I run that program, check the output, 10 10 and minus 10. Now if some of the students are, sir, there is one more case, like if you write like this, like num plus plus, then what is the output? If you write like this, if you try this, definitely you will get an error. Okay, so that is not possible, because I already told you increment decrement operator is not applicable in Python programming. So you will get a syntax error. So this case is not valid. Okay, so if you think that it is a post increment, so I already mentioned you the increment decrement operator is not applicable in Python programming. Okay, so we already cover relational operator and arithmetic operator. I forgot this point at the time of arithmetic operator. That's why I covered this topic with the relational operator. Okay, so important point to be noted. The important point is increment decrement operator is not applicable in Python programming. Okay, done. And next is next is logical operator. Very important, that is logical operator. Next is logical operator. Logical operator, as the word already say, if you want to develop some logic, so for that you have to use a logical operator. So for logical operator we have and, or, and not. So for logic if you want to develop some logic, so for that you have to use a logical operator, and in Python we have 3 logical operator: and, or, and not. Okay, so we cover one by one. So like if you want where we use and operator, we suppose that you have 2 conditions. Okay, like let us suppose if you want to check, if you want to take 2 numbers from the what case we take here. Okay, so for and, okay, so here we take if marks is, or here we write like percentage, if percentage is greater than 75 and age is greater than 18, so print you are eligible, as you are not eligible, as print you are, as you want to print not eligible, not. Okay, so we take percentage and age from the user. So first one is percentage. Okay, so with the help of input function, we take input from the user, input, and here I write enter your percentage. Okay, and we know that the input function always give you output in a string format. Okay, so input is a function. It means that if you want to take data from a user, so for that we already have predefined function, that is input. With the help of input function you can easily take data from the user. But important point is the input function always take data in a string format, and in this case you want percentage in an integer format. So here you have to typecast its value. So here I convert string to integer. Okay, next we want the age. So again we typecast into integer, and here I again use input function. and I ask the age. Okay, enter your age. Enter your age. Okay, so we have to take two values. First is percentage and second is age, and both are in integer format. And we know that important point to be note, input function always give you output in string format. So if you want output as a like as per your choice, like means that if you want output in a integer format, so for that you have to typecast its value. But by default, input always give you output in a string format. Okay. Okay. So first we run the program. So here, enter your age, enter your percentage. So my percentage is 87 and my age is 22. Okay, so you are eligible. Again, if I run the program and here I mention my percentage is only 45 and my age is 19. So you're not eligible. Okay, my bad. Actually, the spelling of not is correct. Wrong. So first I correct it. So that is not eligible. Okay. So here I write AND operator. So what is the actually working of AND? Means that if both conditions are true, then AND operator return you true. Otherwise return you false. Okay. If both conditions are true in a case of AND, then it return true. Otherwise it return false. Okay. So the important point is in case of AND or in case of AND operator, in case of AND operator, in case of AND operator, if both condition is true, then it return true. Otherwise it return false. So that is important point. Okay, so in case of AND operator, if both conditions true, then it return you true, otherwise return you false. So what happen if we use OR in place of AND? Okay, so here we again replace AND with OR. So what happen if we replace AND with the OR? So in case of OR, if one condition is true, if any of the one condition is true, then it give you true. Otherwise, if both condition is false, then it return false. If only one condition is false, if only one condition is false and other is true, so it will return you true. Okay, so that is the OR operator. Okay, so again we run the program to understand the concept of OR. Okay, enter your age, and my age is like here I mentioned my age is 23, and what is your percentage? My percentage is 34. But in this case, my one condition is true. My age is 23, that is greater than 18. But my percentage is actually the percentage is 23, but actually it must be greater than 75. And here I mentioned the age is 34. That is actually true. So one condition is true and another is false. So it will return you true. So you are eligible. Okay. If both condition is false in case of OR, then it return you false. Okay. Otherwise it will return you true. Okay. So that is OR operator. So again we run the program. If both condition is false, okay, enter your percentage. So my percentage is only 34%. And what is your age? My age is only 15. So in this case, both condition are false. So then it will return you false. Okay, so in case of OR operator, if both condition is false, then it return you false. Otherwise, it return you true. Okay. Last, that is NOT operator. Okay, so what happens if we use NOT before if? Okay, so actually the actual work of NOT is to convert true to false or false to true. Okay, again we understand with the help of example. Again we run the program, and here I mention the age is enter your percentage. So percentage is 34 and the age is again 15. So in this case both conditions are false. Okay, so both conditions are false. So OR operator will return you false, but a NOT operator will convert false to true. So you will get you are eligible as an output. The actual working of not is to convert true to false and false to true. Okay, so in this case, if we enter the percentage, so here we enter the percentage 34, so that is actually, that condition is false. Then we enter the age is 15, again this condition is false, so it will return false, but not operator will convert false to true, and that is the reason you get you are eligible as an output. So this is logical operator. Okay, so the important point is, in case of AND operator, if both condition are true, then it will return you true, otherwise it will return you false. In case of OR, if both condition are false, then it will return you false, otherwise it will return you true. And what is the working of not? Not will convert true to false and false to true. Okay, so as per the requirement we use these operators. Okay, so this is logical operator. If you want to develop a logic, means that if you want like if we take one more example. Okay, we take one more example. Okay, that is username and password. So we take username and password. So username, and here we take input function. Enter username and password. Enter password. Okay, so we want two values from the user. First one is password. Okay, so we want two values. First is username and second is the password, and both values we want in a string format, so that is no need of typecasting in this case. Okay, so first we want the username and again we want the password. So if we mention the condition, if the username, if username equal username equal Mohit and password is equal in a string form, if we want the password as 1234, if the both conditions satisfied, if both the conditions satisfied, so we want to print welcome. So we want to print welcome, otherwise we want to print invalid, otherwise we want to print invalid. Okay, so enter your username. Here I mentioned like Mohit, and password is 1234. So that is actually, it shows you invalid. Why it shows you invalid? Because 1 2 3 4. Okay, so you want to change something. First we convert into lower case here. So with the help of lower function we convert into lower case, and we take password. Okay, so we take password in an integer form. So here we convert password in an integer format. Okay, and we remove these quotes here, and again we run the program. What is your username? And if I mention Mohit in a capital letter and password is 1234, welcome. That's perfectly good. Okay, so means that if we, where we use logical operator, means that if you have multiple conditions, so for that you have to use a logical operator. If you want to develop some logic with multiple conditions, so you have to use the logical operator. So we have three logical operators: and, or, and not. Okay, so we already cover arithmetic operator, next we cover relational operator, and third is logical operator. Okay, now we take move to the next one, that is assignment operator. Next is assignment operator. Okay, so assignment, we already cover assignment operator because from first program we use assignment operator like equal sign. So in this case we assign 10 to num. So with the help of assignment operator, we always assign values. So that equal sign is the assignment operator. But we have multiple assignment operators that we call it mixed operator, and in some standard book it is mentioned as a compound assignment operator, and in some standard book it is mentioned as a mixed operator. Okay, so means that, so that is actually assignment operator. This is a basic assignment operator, but we have some compound assignment operator, or we call it as a mixed operator. Okay, so if you write like this, like num plus equal to 2, okay, and print the value of num. Now guess what is the output here? What is the value of num? Okay, so actually if you write like this, like num plus equal to 2, behind the scene it will treat as num is equal to num plus 2. Okay, so that is actually a mixed operator. That is actually a mixed operator. Okay, that plus equal to, we write the same thing, like num is equal to num plus 2 in a short manner with in num plus equal to 2. Okay, and we call it a mixed operator. Okay, so here you will get definitely 12 as an output. Okay, so we have many compound assignment operators or mixed operator, like plus equal to, then minus equal to, then multiplication equal to, then we have division equal to, modulus equal to. So these are actually mixed operator, or we call it compound assignment operator. Even you use that assignment operator with bitwise operator also. Means that if you want to write like this, because till we already cover arithmetic operator, relational operator, logical assignment, but we are not cover bitwise operator, that we cover after assignment operator. But if you want to write, okay, if you want to use assignment operator with the bitwise operator, so that is also possible. Means that if you want to write like this, like complement equal to, or if you want to write bitwise and equal to, or bitwise or equal to, bitwise XOR equal to, bitwise XOR equal to, so that is also applicable. Okay, so these are actually mixed operator, or we call it compound assignment operator. Okay, so we take one more example. Suppose that now you want to multiply the value of num with 4. Okay, so you write like this, like num equal to 4. Behind the scene it will treat as, that statement, like statement number 6, as num is equal to num into 4. Okay, so that is possible. So here the output is 48. Okay, oh sorry, so first we want to print the value of num. Now the value of num will be updated, and the final output is 40. So that is compound assignment operator, or we call it mixed operator. Okay, now the next and very important, that is fifth one, that is bitwise operator. As the word say, bitwise. So bitwise operators always work on bits. Okay, and like there is a one favorite question, like if you want to check the given number is even or odd. So for that, most of the students use the modulus operator, but with help of bitwise operator we can also check the number is even or odd. Okay, so for bitwise operator we have complement, that is bitwise. That tilde sign is actually a complement operator. Next is bitwise AND, then bitwise OR, then bitwise XOR, then left, that is actually right shift and left shift. So these are the bitwise operator, and bitwise operator always work on bits. Okay, and as I give you one example, like if you want to check the given number is even or odd, so most of the students use modulus operator, but with the help of bitwise operator you can also check the number is even or odd. Okay, so I prove that point. Like, so here we perform the bitwise AND operation with 12 and 1, and again for 14 and 1. Okay, then Okay, so in line number 4 and 5, 4 and 5, we take both even number, and in line number 7 we take odd number like 13, and again we perform the bitwise AND operation with 1. And again, in case of we take one more value, odd value, that is 15, and again we perform the bitwise AND operation with 1. And if we run the program, first check the output. Okay, so if you are performing bitwise AND operation with even number, so you will get 0 as an output. And if you are performing bitwise AND operation with 1, okay, if you are performing bitwise operation of odd number with 1, so you will get 1 as an output. So from that case, easily the logic is came. If you want to check the given number is even or odd, you can easily check with the help of bitwise operator. Okay, so bitwise operator always work on bit. Okay, so if you are like good to convert any number, any decimal number into binary form, binary to octal, octal to hexadecimal, so you can play with it. Okay, so the important point is bitwise operator always work on bit. Okay, so there is some exceptional case, because if you go for the interview, so definitely you saw these types of example. Like if you want to complement of true, so guess what is the output? Okay, so actually here the output is, that is complement of true. So true is internal 1, so the complement of 1 is -2. So see the output is -2. And what is the complement of false? And what is the complement of false? So false is internally 0, and if you find the complement of 0, say actually it's -1. And if you think that it is a rectification concept, so this is not a rectification concept. If you are good with bits, so definitely you can solve these numericals on paper also. Okay, so this is bitwise operator, and it is very important as per the interview point of view, as per the placement point of view, because most of the question, because this is a favorite question of TCS. Like if you write this like 25. Okay, now guess what is the output. If you think that is the output 625, so that is wrong, because that is not a power operator, that is a bitwise XOR operator, and here the output is 27. Here the output is 27. Okay, so this is bitwise operator, and it is very important for the interview point of view. So if you are good with the bits, so definitely you can easily understand. If you think that this sir, it's a rectification concept, this is not a rectification concept. First you convert the number into bits, and then you are performing the AND operation or OR operation or XOR operation. Okay, so this is bitwise operator, and as per the interview point of view, it is very important. And last one is ternary operator. Last and very important, that is ternary operator. So as the word say, for binary operator we require 2 operand, for unary operator we require 1 operand, and for ternary we require 3 operand. Okay, so again we want to check the given number is even or odd. Okay, so first we take one number from the user, like num is equal to input, and here we want to give one message to the user, like enter one number. Okay, and we want to typecast this. Okay, because we know that the input method always give output in string form, and we want to typecast in an integer form, because we want value in an integer form. We want output in an integer form. Okay, we want value in an integer form. So first we typecast string to integer. Okay, because we know that input always give you output in string form. Okay, now I want to check that number is even or odd. Okay, so we write the same thing in a one line. Okay, so number is even if if num again we use a modulo operator here. If num mod 2 if num mod 2 equal to 0, if this condition satisfies, so here use question mark. So if this condition satisfies, if num mod 2 equal 0, if this condition satisfies, so answer is even. So answer is even as as answer is odd, as answer is odd. So that is actually ternary operator, because in this case we have three operands. So even is the first operand, then that condition is the second operand, and odd is the third operand. So here we take a three operand, that's why we call it ternary. Okay, and we run it. Okay, so I know one number here, I mentioned 12 even. Again we run the program and we take 13, so answer is odd. So it's perfectly well. If you think that it is a if and as, no, this is not a if else statement, it is a ternary operator. If you are from other background like C, C++, Java, so in that case we use some different like different syntax for ternary operator. We use like that question mark and column, but actually it is the syntax totally changed in a Python programming. In Python programming you have to simply write like this. So this is a ternary operator. If you want to write the same thing uh, uh, in the chaining form, so that is also possible. Okay, so that is also possible. So that is actually ternary operator. So we take one more example. We have to take one more example. Okay, okay, so we want to check, we want to take three numbers from the user. So first is num1. We want to check the largest among the three numbers, and that is num1. Next is num2, and next is num3. And enter number, we only give message in number, enter number, enter number, enter number. And we want to check which number is larger among the three numbers, that is largest among the three numbers. Okay, so print, here I mention num1 is greater, okay, if which condition satisfy, if which condition satisfy, if num1 if num1 is greater than num2, and and num1 is greater than num3. Okay, if both conditions satisfied, means that num1 is greater. Okay, as now we have second condition, as num2 is greater, as num2 is greater, as num2 is greater, the condition is if, again we write the same thing like num, here we write num2 is greater than num1, okay, so and num2 is greater than num3. So if this condition satisfied, means that num2 is greater than num1 and num2 is greater than num3, then num2 is greater. Okay, okay, as num3 is greater, as num3 is greater. So as num3 is greater, so here we use a chaining of concept. Okay, and here we close the bracket, not perfect, not perfect. Okay, so here we use with the help of like chaining of ternary operator concept, we want to check the number which one is largest among three numbers. Okay, so we write this we write the uh, four line codes into one line. Okay, with the help of ternary operator. If you use if and if as condition in place of ternary operator, so we have to write 3-4 line more. Okay, but ternary operator can replace that number of lines into one line. So that is the beauty of the ternary operator. Okay, so enter one number. So first number is 12, that is num1, num2 is 13, and and num3 is 14. So here num3 is greater. It's perfectly work. Okay, so that is possible. And if you want to like mention in place of num1, num2, num3, you want to mention which number is greater. So directly mention like num1 is greater, num1 is greater. Here you mention num2, and here you mention num3. Num3. So again we run the program. We give first we enter the first number, so that is 12, then 13 and 19. So 19 is greater. Okay, so it perfectly works. So that is the beauty of the ternary operator. So in this session we already cover arithmetic operators, relational operator, logical operator, assignment operator, bitwise operator, and ternary operator, and these are the 6 basic operators. Okay, so if you're good with the operators, then you easily perform any of the operation, you can develop any of the logic. Okay, that's all of my today's session. Thank you so much.